In this video, I'm going to show you how our family processed 68 of our backyard birds. So we start with the part no one really loves, and then we move on to the scalding to help loosen up the feathers so that they will come off easier inside of a borrowed blessedly by some friends who just purchased this plucker and let us borrow it for this event. As you can tell, most of the feathers come off, and then we can just pick any of the pin feathers off as needed. So this process here is my husband actually doing the entire chicken, eviscerating and all of that fun stuff. So he started with pulling off the head, and now he moves on to the knees, being very careful to cut away from yourself because these knives are super sharp. We did save the chicken feet for, I'm hoping, some chicken broth and some other things. When we did the scalding, we made sure to get the feet scalded as well so the skin would come off easier with that. So here's the next part where he removes the oil sac. Some people choose to remove the entire tail. We do keep it on, but we do remove the oil sac and just toss that into the gut bucket. The next part is we flip it over so it's chest side up, and then you cut the skin very easily, not pointing the knife in, and then using hands to stretch open. This is where my husband will grab the crop that is empty because we fasted our chickens for 24 hours ahead of time, the windpipe and the esophagus. He's going to detach all that from the breast and the neck area, throat area, so that it will easily come out the other end. He does not pull it out through this front end, but yet it'll actually come out the back when the bird has been eviscerated. Naturally, this part is very slimy, so while some of us wore gloves, some people choose to do it barehanded. You get a better grip on what it is you are trying to remove at this point. And then after you feel comfortable with it, flip it around. This is the back end, so you want to be very careful. My husband does choose to cut inwards in just a second, which is not advised right there. Don't do that because you might actually poke some bowels or something and cause grossness within your chicken that could actually compromise the whole bird itself. So don't do that. Be sure that you just pull the skin away and cut horizontally until you can get what you need out. So this is where you're going to widen the gap and stick your hand in there, and you're just going to go all around the cavity of the bird and pull apart anything away from the chest cavity, just to really get in there and dig so you can get it all out in one fell swoop like my husband has just done here. And this is all of the innards. That crop right there just came out along with the windpipe and the esophagus. Now my husband is going to cut the poop chute, I guess is what we were really calling it. There's a sac down there that you want to cut around and out away from the tail, but that is where the poop does come out, and you definitely want to be clear of that. This part now is where we separate the liver and the heart. We do save that for dog food. My husband here is going to detach the gallbladder, which you do not want to burst from the liver. However, you're going to find that he does have an accident right here in just a second that you don't want to happen. Whenever you are eviscerating a bird, be sure that you pull the bird kind of over to the side and out of the way when you're doing this part, when you're separating some things in the innards, in case the gallbladder does burst, because that gall, you do not want that green stuff right there. You don't want that to get on anything that you're preparing to eat. The heart and the liver we were planning to give to the dogs. We're not really too concerned about that. However, if this was something you were planning to eat, like the livers, with this one, you would definitely want to throw it away. All of this goes into the gut bucket, and then before we move any further, we take the chicken off of the table and then spray off the gall that spilled out onto the table before we continue the process, making sure that our area is clean of that. So now we go back to what we were doing. My husband is now pulling out the lungs. I have heard that you could leave them in there, but we are choosing to take them out. There's the second one. Just checking to make sure there's anything else that may need to come out. Definitely want to make sure you get the kidneys. They're really small little white bean looking things. So get those out as well. He's just checking to make sure he got it all. Everything, windpipe, esophagus, everything got pulled out the back like it was supposed to. And then you're just going to want to give your bird a good rinse, inside, outside, all the things. Yeah, take it on your side. Cotton budders. After rinsing, we bring the bird back to the table, and this is where we prepare it to be put on ice. So we will actually cut a slit in this leftover skin right here to tuck the feet, knees, I guess you would say, into that hole. It holds the bird nicely together so that when we do go to seal them in their bags, we do the heat seal bags by Texas Poultry Shrink Bag Company. That everything fits in there nicely like it's supposed to. And then after this, we go and put it right into an ice bath to sit and chill before we are ready to bag them up. I forgot to mention that we actually do an ice bath in between the plucking and this process just to cool them from the scalding too. This is our family's second time doing a chicken processing of our backyard birds. We learn something new every time. I'm sure we're not doing it perfectly, but I hope that we're able to teach you something with this video today.